12:01. We almost made it. Okay. What's up, world? Happy Wednesday. Yeah. So, I actually managed to get the tarp standing. Let's hope that sticks. I hope everybody enjoyed this week's video. I really sort of went for low hanging fruit, it felt like. Because it's the first week of summer vacation and I'm getting in the swing of it. You know what I'm saying? So, we went for low hanging fruit, but it was fun. I didn't put them on and make fun of them. As easy as that would be to do with some of those people. Like the first one did especially sound sort of like, just straight up non-binary gibberish at first, but then it's like, no wait, there's a rhythm to this, and that person's like so young. I feel like everyone's had that moment on their journey. Like most of us just did not dye our hair green and do stuff to ourselves about it and like put it on the internet. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone's had that moment. I don't know. Like I say, a lot of that really did feel like the human condition, and there was one that was like straight up poetry, and I cut it out because I had nothing to say. I had nothing to say to that. It was just straight up poetic, and I wasn't like, it was like, maybe you've seen this one. If if your gender is a boy, you're a boy. Congratulations. If your gender is a girl, bam, you're a girl. Congratulations. And if your gender is like, I don't know, something about Slay Queen, and you forgot to drink water today. Oh, how groundbreaking. And then something about a desert full of strawberries no human hand will ever touch, something, something, something. And I'm like, okay, this is just straight up poetry. Like, no one's... And that, something like 17 erotica novels derelict inside an abandoned building or something. What up, Philological? I was just talking about the TikToks I cut out from that reel because a couple of them were legit poetry and I had nothing to say. Like, I'm not just going to put somebody up and go, ha, your makeup looks funny. That's dumb. How are you doing? I did not just pull those people out to make fun of them. I selected the ones I thought were, comment worthy from this reel that I found. What up, Sarah? How you doing? Did you like the video? It felt like a little bit cheating, but like at the same time, I'm talking sometimes about like Ariel Scarcella bitching about TikTok, and I'm like, this feels like maybe we could just cut out the middle woman here, like doing great. Got your brain scanned. Why? How did that go? Have you got the results yet? Like, that sounds serious. Are you okay? Oh, yeah. But so, like, I don't know. I did not have, like, I didn't put these people on my channel just to hate on them, And like I say, there were a couple of them that I cut out of this reel that I responded to because, well, okay. One of them was I cut it out because it was just upsetting. Haven't been through it in a while. What up, Mecca? How you doing? Needed a gender break. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I legit posted non-binary TikToks this week. Like, I'm sorry. I went just straight into the belly of the beast this week. I'm so sorry. And I still don't even have TikTok. Like, I stole that from a channel here on YouTube. Because it's the first week of summer vacation. And I'm getting into the groove of it. You know what I'm saying? I needed something easy. I needed something now. You know what I mean? How have you been? Eyeball deep in gender junk, I guess. Eee. Unfortunately, I think we all know how that is around here, right? No, and I was just saying, like, there was one I cut out because it was legitimately upsetting to me, and that was all it was. It was just this older trans dude talking about how he had started transitioning when his daughter was a little girl, and like how she explained it to her daughter, and I'm like, you couldn't have waited 5 years? This is fucked up. Okay. That one just upset me, and I had no real, like, there was nothing comment worthy on that other than, it made me want to cry. So I just cut that one out. And then there were a couple others that, I don't know. Again, a lot of it felt just like poetry to me, and there was no really, nothing to comment upon, I've been good. It's always the thing to take a break when you need one. Between the gender mess and the war, I was having a rough time for a minute. Oh my God, the war. You mean Israel, Palestine? You mean that war, right? There are no winners in that. I have not commented upon that because I hate them both. I think they both suck. For totally different reasons. So, well, not totally different, but like in totally separate, of one another. I mean that one. I just didn't want to sidetrack the combo to it. Yeah, fair enough. And I think I've done that for you because, I don't know. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier, and that's why I haven't commented on it. That's basically all I have to say. Is both sides suck completely individually of one another, and so it just looks like a slog from here. It just looks like a quagmire of awful. What do you comment upon that? What do you say about that? They told me I get to go live on a chill farm now. Wait. They said the woke mind virus has reached my spinal cord. They're gonna have to put me down, whatever that means. But they told me I get to go live on a chill farm now where everyone uses preferred pronouns, so it's probably gonna be good. Has someone hacked you? Like, what is this? Oh, good one. That's funny. No, and like, see, and sometimes it almost feels like people are just really exploring themselves, and if you're in your teens and 20s and you're trying to figure out who you are, trying on some more, extreme ideas for size is not ridiculous. So, like I say, I did not go in just to hate on non-binary people. I think that's a bit cheap. I did actually go in looking for stuff to talk about, which there is plenty. Oh, there is plenty, right? And I almost felt sorry for the little boy with the pigtails, He's trying so hard. Guys, I'm a girl. See, I'm a girl. See, look what I can do. It's like, oh, the South must be getting to me because I want to say, bless your heart. Jokes aside, the scan is because I had a seizure on my birthday in 2022, and the neurologist wants to figure out if I have epilepsy. He had to have a different kind of scan next Wednesday. Oh, probably missed the stream. Oh, okay. Well, that's obviously more important. Let me know how that goes. Shit. Have you ever had seizures before? Because I have had cause to research this, and one seizure does not epilepsy make. You know what I mean? But so they suspect you've had more, probably. And yeah, they should be able to tell you that, even if you don't have one while they're scanning you, I guess. Which is super interesting if you think about that. It sucks that they've taken what's basically just a fetish of body mod community and tricked kids into thinking you can just be that way, be like that in a normal way. Yeah, and I mean, to a certain extent, like, you can. Okay? I have no problem with, like, the random dude at Walmart having tattoos. The guy, they used not like cashiers. And this is a random detail, right? But like, I swear to God, even 10 years ago, they didn't want cashiers to have like visible tattoos and piercings and shit. And no one gives a flying fuck about that now, which, more power to them, because why? I do not see that sort of thing. Modify your body all you fucking want. Sometimes it looks cute. Every once in a while, somebody manages to hit with that crap. And I have to sit back and go, huh, so that's how you're supposed to do that. Like, yeah, it's where it becomes, more deeper psychologically for the individual than that. It's not, I have piercings. It's, I hear, you know what? I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what the deeper meanings of that shit are. I'm not even going to try and give an example because I have a sense for those people. I was raised by Wiccans, so I have a sense for those people, and I try and stay away from them. The thing with random dudes with tattoos is that nobody tried to trick him into thinking he has tattoo absence disease as a kid. That's a really good way to put it. He knows he's making unusual choices because he wants to. Yeah, true. And your hair grows out, right? Dye your hair whatever the fuck color you want. It grows out. That's hair, But like, I have spoken many different times, many different ways about the insidious nature of this around kids and how, people like Buck Angel will literally sit there and say, yeah, for me and Blair, it's all about the kids. And it's like, what? Why? Oh my goodness. I don't think people who are this confused are capable of tricking anyone. Well, I don't know. It's possible to be really confused and really certain at the same time, right? Those are probably the most dangerous. Oh, I need a drink of water. Oh, God. Ugh. And then you have everybody's favorite whipping boy, Jeffrey Marsh, who is literally out there grooming children in a predatory way. You can't tell me that guy's confused. Come on. No, and I was just sort of, right, yeah. No one wants to claim that guy, right? Nobody wants to claim that guy because he's a predator, straightforwardly, in glitter makeup. You can't tell me that guy. Not they're not all confused. And I do not really want to take him on directly much because why? Again, why? Like, that is my comment on him. He's a predator. The end. None of the trans rhetoric, I think, applies to that guy, honestly. I think a lot of folks say trans people are creepy without fair reason, but Marsh is... Right. That's what I'm saying. And it has nothing to do with his transness, which I don't buy. Anyway, anymore that I would buy that a guy like that loves children's toys or whatever. Whatever the angle is, that's all it is. Like I say, I don't think that I haven't bothered to really take that guy on, A, because that's all I have to say about him, and B, because so that's like, I just don't think that any of the trans rhetoric actually applies to him. I think he's just a creep. I also think a lot of people are creeped out by by things that are, unfamiliar, like far enough out from their personal experience. I think some people are just like, whoa, to a lot of stuff like that. Jeffrey Marsh is definitely just a creep who finds it useful to have a way in. Right. So, like, I'm not going to waste any actual philosophical rhetoric on him. I'm not going to waste any psychopolitical rhetoric on him. Our prime minister said 18-year-olds from now on are going to have to do compulsory military or community service. Whoa! So maybe the youth will finally have something to think about besides their pronouns. Whoa! They're bringing that back? Really? For both sexes? That's a big whoop, right? That's a big deal. Holy shit. Whoa! How the fuck did I not hear about this? Wow. Okay. That went out in... Wait. 1950 or something like that? No. 1958? 1960, something like that. Like, they haven't had that for a long time. Welcome back to bad old days. The military industrial machine is hungry. Yeah, right. It's community service, and apparently the vast majority is going to be civilian, and military will not be compulsory for anyone. Okay. And, my husband has actually made that argument that, like, sometimes you do have to force kids to learn things, and, like, mandatory community service is not such a terrible thing. Our kid is doing it because she skipped a lot of class. And so they have done it so that you can make it up by doing some community service hours and still get your diploma, Yeah, you think it's a good idea. Yeah. As long as it is civic minded, I could get behind that. As for the military thing, well, I don't understand war at all. Like, That is one of the big reasons that I know I must be just weird. Because I look at all that shit and I think, what y'all do? What? None of that shit makes any sense to me. If everybody in the world were like me, we just wouldn't do shit like that. I don't understand. How wasteful of life, of resources, of land sometimes. Like, so stupid. So that's my take on that. I am not a fan of the military or anything. I don't understand that shit. But I'm not like a peacenik. Like, obviously you need to defend yourself, but like, why is anybody attacking you? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. To be fair, I see the value of a strong military even as a pacifist. It's useful for so much more than just war. I mean, are you talking like Roman style, like uh, infrastructure sort of stuff? I mean, again, you can do that without the guns. Maybe. I don't know. We have, here in the United States, we have a domestic corps that does stuff like that. Like, essentially, the Army is a general purpose government workforce that can be mobilized for things like disaster relief. Right. But so, that's not war, right? So, losing friends over politics is fun, and Uta doesn't speak to me because they said war is always unnecessary, and I don't think there are exceptions that justify that kind of mass death. Oh, she's Jewish, right? Ooh. Well. Some people have more skin in that game than me. That's for sure. Like, war is always bad. I don't. I'm sorry you had a falling out with your friend, Meg. Very familiar with that myself. It sucks. Right, yeah. Again, I think we've all been there, sadly. Here in our little corner, here in my little corner over here, we all have some unpopular opinions, I guess. It's agree to disagree. Is, if there were a bulletin board with rules on it, that would be rule number one. You must agree to disagree when you enter this space. Like, basically, if you have two people involved, you're going to disagree about something. I feel like people should assume that in any interaction, probably, but to lose an entire relationship, like, what is a relationship to people? Like, what is that? Is that not something that you spent time building, a bridge between you and another person? Is that not? Yeah, I don't know. It's a matter of skin in the game. I just don't think it's not a matter of skin in the game. I just don't think there's a good reason anyone on any side of it this thing has a reason to do that to people. No, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, some people are emotionally invested in a way that I do not think me or you can touch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna try and argue with somebody like that. You should make a sign that hangs behind you in streams, like reading "Agree to disagree." All ye enter here. Yeah, I if I had a wall, I one of these days, I swear to God, we're gonna get the ad up and running this week. Memorial Day was a holiday apparently, and so he wasn't in the office, and like, I don't know, my meeting just didn't happen this week, and I'm disappointed. But we got everything ready to go. We just need to pull the trigger on that, so that should be cool. Then maybe, one of these days I'll get me a wall. That's what I'm saying. Agreeing to disagree has to be part of any relationships that are going to work over time. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, yeah. I need you to agree because I feel strongly about it isn't ever a thing that works. No. There are certain things that you have to learn to disagree. Yeah, agree to disagree is what that would be. What's up, little man?
Why am I on the left side but not on the right side?
It comes up backwards. I don't know. It's confusing to me, too. What do you want? Yes, you're adorable. We all know it. What do you want? Ah!
I can't believe I scared you.
I just don't like having stuff in my face. Go back in the house. My man, we talked about this. Yeah. 2 hours. You have to be good. And then we're going to go to the park.
How much time do I have left until we go to the pool?
Well, about an hour and a half until I'm off here, and then I'm going to need to eat lunch too. Yeah. There is a massive playground, but not far from here. And when I say massive, I mean like I can climb up it. Like it's 3 stories tall, and I can get up there if I want to. I don't really, but like it's big enough, and it'll hold like an adult. If you can't take an agree to disagree, or let's change the topic with me, then things will head downhill. Right? It's a spiral. It is necessarily just an endless argument. In some positions, you just are not going to shake with people, and yeah, you have to figure out like it literally is. Would you rather be right and prove how right you are, or would you rather be happy and get along with people? What I can do to accommodate your feelings is change the subject. You're right, exactly. Because they're not going to convince you, and you're not going to convince them. And sometimes it's dumb stuff anyway. Right. I should. That sounds fun. I have been up there, which is how I know that it will. I can get up there. But like, I don't know. I think today I might just sit and work on book stuff while he plays. That's one of the miracles of playgrounds is you can just kind of take them there and let them do their thing. It's great. The only real problem with that place is it is a new build, so it has no shade during the middle of the day. No shade. None at all. Except like the artificial like bodega things they built. But otherwise, no. No, the tree in our yard looks old as hell though, and like that seems to make more sense to me. Like if you're going to cut down a bunch of trees to build some stuff, you should at least leave a few, right? So you have some old growth trees and whatever the hell it is that you put up. They don't always do that. People don't always do that. And like, damn, I wish I were an industrial developer. Like, because I would do it right. I just love trees, to be fair. Oh, random good news. I forgot to share also. Starting in September, I may have a job tutoring Old English at a prestigious university. Having a convo with the course director tomorrow about it. Wish me luck. Oh my gosh, good luck. That's awesome. Hey, so the thing just told me that we're going to have an ad in 60 seconds. Thank you guys. Thank you so much in advance for sitting through the ads because seriously, every nickel counts. I really am just trying to work here to bring feminism back into the real world. I say it a lot. I don't say it enough lately. I get tired of shilling myself. Like, please subscribe to the channel. I mean, please subscribe to the channel. But I don't know, it's corny. I feel like the message should speak for itself and but advertising works. Or people wouldn't spend so damn much time and money on it, would they? But yeah, and the book is real wrapped into that too. Mecca, I don't think you've been here haven't been here for a while, so you haven't got to hear so much about that. Maybe I'll just wait. I can wait. But is it 60 seconds or 15 seconds if you skip it? I mean oh. The grand plan for how I hope to conquer the world. No, I'm kidding. No, but we're developing a lot of interesting ideas here in the chats, especially, and I don't sell these up enough. I should sell these up more because I feel like we legit have some fun conversations over here. And a lot of these themes are stuff I've rolled into my novel. So the thought is, okay, that instead of, okay, Becca, I just want to be able to, can you hear me? I just want to make sure you can hear me. And, it's not still on commercial or some shit because this is the meat and potatoes of the project. So, okay, cool. So the thought is that by publishing the novel, it's sort of a like a side assault, okay? Because I see all these mostly women out there, pulling the full frontal assault on the shit, right? And getting shot down left and right, one way and another, right? Getting blocked, getting suppressed, and all that shit. And I just thought, I really got to thinking, if you actually want to get messages out there, culturally speaking, how do you do that? How do you actually accomplish that? And I happen to think that historical fiction might just be the most potent way of doing that. With science fiction being second after that, I could go down the list of people who have accomplished this with varying levels of success, but so I'm rolling the themes into the fiction. Right. And it's a great vehicle for ideas and, playing with deep concepts, right, in a familiar enough setting that you can kind of move the pieces around without having to explain to everybody all these stupid little silly ass details. The world building was easy as shit, okay? The world building for my book did not take me very long at all. Because it's Victorian England, so bam, world exists, right? So that's the idea. Is that in the book, we can roll these themes and these ideas up into the novel, and I've been doing a lot of work over the last few months on that specifically, and working them into the character arc and stuff, and it's all very complicated, writer gobbledygook, but I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere with it, and I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited about that aspect of it because I think I might actually pull this off. So I want to make the biggest cultural splash possible with all of the kinds of stuff that we talk about here, and all from a woman's perspective, obviously. So that's the idea behind the book, the big idea behind the book, and how in the hell it is related to the random feminist videos I make on YouTube, because it totally is. It totally is. At this point, this is me just building a platform for myself, so that next year or maybe the year after, depending on how well all this goes, when I publish the book, it's not going to be that anyone will care, and so that when you read the book, it's not going to be, oh my God, she wrote this. No, it's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be, all kinds of development of all the themes and ideas that we talk about here, especially in the live streams. To plant them in other people's heads without their realizing it because they think they're reading a story. You see? And that's how myths work too, right? So why shouldn't we get to use that, right? Why shouldn't feminism have stuff like that? I think we should. I really, really do. So that's what I'm trying to do. Woo! There goes my umbrella. Oh no. Anyway, the reason I'm into superhero stuff is because it's the whole mythical thing in a modern context. Right. And I think that people are hungry for stories that deal with deeper themes. I really, really do. Myth is so important. Exactly. And they've all gone stale, haven't they? That's the thing about myth that I don't think people appreciate is it is living, it's a living thing. Agree. Yeah. That has to be, breathed life anew, if you will, with every generation. And it's got to the point where we're not allowed even really to like create new stuff. And it's got to the point where people are reading deeper themes into shit where they don't really, where they're not. Like, frankly, if I'm honest, I think that's what a lot of that superhero stuff is. Not all of it, but I think a lot of that stuff is just not that deep. And people have tried really desperately to make some of that stuff that deep because it looks like epic myth. It has the panache and the epicness, right? The great heroes and all that shit. And a lot of the actual myths from back in the day just don't speak to us in the same way anymore. It depends on the author whether it's that deep or not. Right. It can be. But I think on its face, a lot of that stuff just isn't. And people, desperately. I mean, but like, it isn't just superhero stuff. It's literally also stuff like Harry Potter, right? People latch onto stuff all over the place in that way. A lot of the older myths are about wrestling and issues that were relevant to ancient people, but are less relevant or different for us now. Right, exactly. They don't speak to us in the same way. The stuff about the human condition has stayed the same, but a lot has changed. Right. And the human condition is shaped by the environment that it's in. And we changed our environment drastically. So, yeah. And also, there's something to archetype where the natural way people interact with these things suggests parts of human life. Exactly. And so I used the protagonist as an avatar, to walk us through all kinds of stuff. But, not in a, oh my God, I'm being walked through this lesson kind of a way. Like, no. I'm also trying to make it a good read. Like, for heaven's sake, nobody's going to want to read the damn thing if it's boring, right? The mere presence of humans interacting with gods creates a certain vibe, whether you intend to say something deeper or not. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And, well, this is going to sound arrogant, but I'm not sure everyone's up to the task. I'm not even sure I'm up to the task, but I'm starting to be able to visualize it. And I feel like that's a good sign, I don't think we're going to be sitting in the sun soon, but we'll see. Because my umbrella fell down and it blocks a hole that is right there. So I'm excited to see what you come up with. Oh, good. Yeah. The first draft I finished last year, and then, like I say, I've spent, I don't even think that's like a year, like a solid year on character work and theme development. So hopefully that's, it's kind of slow going because I really am a mom, obviously, and I have all kinds of other stuff to do, and it's a very death of the author thing that a work can have deeper meanings and say more about the human condition than the author intended. See, I don't necessarily, I feel like those are two ends of a tether almost. There's the work and then there's the author, and you can sever that tether in your own mind. I don't know that it's especially instructive to do that or necessary to appreciate the work on its own, because you can just turn away from them and ignore them, but they don't have to like die. I don't know. Because that also leads, I think, to taking the work out of its original context, which, like we were just saying about myths, sometimes that really doesn't work so well. Or it turns it into something different, So, I think you can just maybe a great work of art is the way that a human being can be more than the sum of their parts, this is giving me ideas for how I could go through myths with my students. Cool. Like trying to get a sense of the personality of the anonymous poetic narrator in ancient legends. Like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like you have to make it psychologically interesting. And I do love that. I do love that. Even as a kid, that was my reaction to a lot of that stuff is why'd they do that though? It's like we were saying last week. Sometimes you just want to make a point. But I think a lot of people these days need like characters to make sense. They need their characters to be more human in a deeper way. Laughing my ass off. I felt that way watching Lady Ballers. Bad storytelling is eternal. I did not see that. I did not watch that because, well, yeah, I heard it wasn't good. If it was good, I might. Like, this is a look into Jeremy Boring's psyche, and it's depressing. I love that. When people put more of themselves into something than they realize they did. Oh, that's always a fun moment when you realize that, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess I fully admit that I am like putting my heart and soul into my book because, well, like I say, I've been working on it for 2.5 years so far. And I mean, how do you not? Everyone's just terrible or objectified in that movie. Oh, yeah. He doesn't even like men. He likes no one. Oh my God. You're definitely a few like that walking around out there, huh? Wow, yeah. Ooh. And, you know, again, I guess that's what I would say is if you're going to be a misanthrope, at least be honest with yourself about it. You ever run into somebody like that? I get the sense from the Pearl Davis and Andrew Tate types. Where they're misanthropic and they don't even want to be honest with themselves about it? Yeah. 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 Andrew Tate is getting scary though. Has anyone ever tried to set those two up on a date? If Pearl Davis learned how to dress in a flattering way and style her hair, she'd stop saying that crazy stuff to make men pay attention to her. You know, I don't even think it's that. I think girlfriend needs to go grow her own personality. Pearl Davis wants male validation and attention. Exactly. And she needs to get past that. Fixing her hair is not going to help that girl. Which, like, I don't know if you watched the video, but, like, the dude, the big burly dude who was sitting there psychoanalyzing dudes is a woman, okay? Who was literally, I don't know if she does, like, with her platform, she must have a good few men reach out to her, right? But she seems to have stayed single still. Like, wouldn't it be funny if she was a lesbian, like, trolling everyone? That would be funny as hell. Then there's this crazy taboo against doing things to try to get attention from the sex you're interested in. And it leads some people to doing crazy stuff to avoid admitting they just want that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Why would a good man be attracted to what she puts out? So perhaps she's single again. No, but so that in the video, there was a big burly dude who was psychoanalyzing dudes because that was a woman who referred to herself as the Jane Goodall of the steel mill, which makes me laugh every fucking time. Okay. Oh my goodness. And some of that stuff that she was describing about the way men behave, they also seek male validation. Okay. Men also want male acceptance and validation. And that's why they train us to seek it, because they believe that that actually is the highest form of currency. Men aren't chimpanzees. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. But, but it was funny. It was just like, and there's the little picture of her with like the speech bubble. Why are men though? Like, and I guess it's just this person having such a sense of humor about herself, you know, to say, to phrase it that way. I don't know. Like, obviously, men are not chimpanzees, but like, but you know, men do have this hierarchical way of thinking about things, don't they? You know, and they seem to just see the world that way, and that's fine. But the world's just not always that way, fellas. That's just not always how everything works. It's just not. It's just not. And it is amazing to me. I have literally watched them walk into a situation and I'll be like, all right, well, the hierarchy here is da 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 da. So get to it. It's like, whoa, what the fuck was that? You know? So with that person, I kind of feel like if society placed less of an emphasis on passing trans folks could behave much more natural. Yeah. Like wouldn't need to coach trans men on how to observe natal men and imitate their ways. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, like I'm saying. So the feminine body language that she's describing there reads on an animalistic level as weak, nervous, like prey. Okay, so like that's, ugh. And obviously that kind of thing is going to be socialization, right? Because women are not actually prey animals, are we? So I say I would have to agree with you there. Yeah. But it was really funny. Somebody in the comments during the live stream was like, well, no, this guy reads as predator to me. It's like, yeah, that's what she's trying for. That's funny. Can I share an awkward, vaguely TMI anecdote about that kind of male behavior? Please, please. Dish, that would be so great. I'm going to sit here and fiddle with my pipe. Okay. There's two anecdotes. All right. There's no version of society that allows people to transition but doesn't have strong ideas of what a man or a woman are that are different than each other. Right. Transition from what to what? Yeah. No, I covered that a couple of weeks ago in a PB. I responded to this PBS thing, educational sort of thing, right? And they talked about people in different cultures around the world, you know, like men who dress as, you know, women and are raised, boys who dress as girls and are raised as girls. It's like, who dress as what? You can only have gender bending if you have two sexes in the first place. Yeah. No. One, our flat had to have a conversation with our autistic friend about how it's okay for him to squeeze the guy's chest as a joke, but not mine. Yikes. Here's a dragonfly. Two. You know that thing men do when they clasp hands? Like with their girlfriend, or here in the UK, they do a kind of hug afterwards where they bump their chest again. Oh, yeah. With their clasped hands in the middle. Oh, like the handshake thing. Yeah, where it's like, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So they kind of go like this and then go like that. Okay. That's that's see, and that's the kind of thing where I am willing to say boys will be boys. I just can't imagine. On the other hand, more power to them, I guess. I can't see a reason that's not a legitimate greeting between two dudes. Oh. I cannot wait to see where this goes, though. It also hurt a couple of times because sensitive nipples. You know, I kind of thought it was going somewhere like that. Which is why I'm sitting here going, y'all have fun with that. Not me. I'm not gonna be freaking bumping chests with somebody as a greeting, but like I see why it's a macho thing. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, no, like I say, Jane Goodall of the steel mill over there, like, blew my mind. That was so fascinating to me because it does. It illustrates how much of that stuff really is socialization. Right? That's like the most convincing drag king I've ever seen. And it is the kind of stuff that's like eye opening, right? Finally, I'm able to join. Had to take care of a few things. Looks warm and sunny where you are. Very cool and cloudy here. May have rain later today. Oh, right on. I mean, we may have rain later today too. It is sunny at the moment, but clouds are moving. We've had it pass over, I think, a couple of different times at least since I've been sitting here. How's your girlfriend doing? What are you guys watching today? You know, besides me. We were just talking about. Oh, I think Scott, you were really the one who was looking at the Jane Goodall of the steel mill there and saying, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" Because, I mean, and I'm not going to say that all men would relate to that stuff necessarily, but I just thought that it was really interesting the level of how much that really is socialized. And how she was able to break it down in that way from having learned, the different kind of behavior as opposed to the sort of girly, bubbly, filling the space, laughing at jokes, that kind of thing, which looks weak and nervous on an animalistic level. And I just thought that was fascinating as all hell. And y'all know what that is, right? That's what that's saying. You'll see guys see what that's saying, right? Like it's, women are trained to behave as prey animals. That's fucking insane. That's mind-blowing stuff. I remember caring about that kind of stuff early on in transition. Yeah. She's fine. Don't know what he's watching right now. Okay. How women held themselves, interacted, etc. Right. And see, and to me it's interesting because the differences between masculine and feminine behavior are not all from socialization. They're not. Hot take. I know. But I say this from having been a woman that is, for quite some time, and as I've said before, I ended up finding myself in some traditionally feminine situations that I did not anticipate as a younger person. and thusly found myself thinking and behaving in certain ways that all of a sudden made a lot more sense. You know, it was a gradual thing. It did not happen overnight, but it's caused me to question a lot of that stuff. Okay, and I didn't learn this shit from my mother or my grandmother. Like, I did not have any strong maternal influences like that growing up at all. Like, my family's not like that. So what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, in early transition to me, right? There's both an element of you becoming aware of it, which makes it interesting to you, but at some point you can start imitating the opposite sex for the sake of it rather than a self-expression. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Well, it makes you question. I think it would raise the question for anyone: to what extent is your approach to life actually coming from within yourself, right? Much of the differences comes from 2 billion years of biological evolution when sexual reproduction began. 2 billion. Right. But so, in the here and now, what does that mean for us? And how do we learn to make sense of that? Because we are in no way doing a good job, in my opinion, for the most part, of making any sense of this. We seem to want to, make it either or. Either your sex determines your personality, or it doesn't at all. Which, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I've come to the conclusion that I think both of those are extreme positions. Something I'd really be interested in is the perspective of butch lesbians who have mostly male friend circles, which I'm told happens. Yes, that does happen. I would be there's all sorts of different people like that. That's one good example. There's all sorts of different people. I mean, you want to talk about identity politics. Hey, Sarah? Yes, dear. Holy shit. What the where's my car?
You know what? I told Daddy to freak out. They're just letting us test drive it, so we have to come back. I wanted you to take a look at it before I made any decisions. After your life stream, done. Yeah, after your life stream, we're not in a hurry.
Where's my car? What the fuck?
It's at the dealership. They're not doing anything with it.
What the Sorry. Oh my god. Hi, baby.
Oh,
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of freaking out.
why?
Look over there. You see why? You see it?
Yeah, what's the yellow car?
That's
Who's
what I'm
there?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
What's that?
Mom's gonna take a look at it in a bit.
I don't know. It's yellow Kia. They drove off with my Jeep and brought back a Kia for some reason.
Oh my god, why is everyone busting out here? It's here for like an hour.
In the middle of this, because I don't do this on a regular basis every week, right? Like, I'm so sorry. Thanks. No. They're test driving it. But yeah, like, I'm not supposed to absolutely flip the fuck out. Yeah. No, they didn't actually trade it in. They're just test driving it. But yeah, they were supposed to run to the school and drop off some paperwork and come home. So. Yeah, that was my husband. Hi, baby. Are you okay? What's the matter?
Same thing as you.
It's coming back. It's coming back. They're just borrowing this one to see if we like it. We might get one like it someday.
Someday.
Yeah. But we'll take ours back in a couple hours and get the other one back. We just want to see if we like it, because I think it's the van that we're actually looking to trade in next. So
I like the van.
yeah, we love the van, but it's getting old.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's getting old. It was old when we bought it. It's like 12 years old. Yeah.
That's two bees stuck together.
It is. That's right. Oh, so it's gonna be okay. I'm just freaking out, like I said. Oh, just having a moment on live camera.
Mom.
Right, there's a camera on. What? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's great meaty content, though, right? Oh my god.
You may ask what after this, but
I always ask what after almost everything you say. What are you talking about?
what?
What?
Mom?
Mm.
Cole won't let me play My City Monsters because he's on the base. For no reason. Just because he's on
Sweet
the base.
mercy. Will you go tell him that it's not 2 o'clock yet? And I said I needed 2 hours. Okay? Go tell him I said that. Everybody around here acting crazy today. Like we haven't talked about this for 2 days. Go on. It is the first week of summer vacation, so we're learning. Thank you.
Mom, do you just want me to bring him here?
No. Go and tell him that I said that you're supposed to be playing together until 2 o'clock. He should not be on the bass guitar. He should be playing with his little brother because we've talked about this.
So, what do you want me to tell him? That's what
Just tell him to come here. Jesus Christ.
Tell him to come here?
Just tell him to come here. Because why not? Fucking hell. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. Anyone who's still hanging out with me. Like, yeah, Scott, Mecca, Philological, is that who I got? Y'all. Solid. Thank you. Like, the show must go on, right? Hanging tough. Exactly. Great. Now I have that song in my head. Thanks a lot. Like, not for long though. Not for long. The show must go on, and whatever. I'm rolling with it. I'm not gonna sit here and flip out on camera. I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah?
Waiting exactly 1 hour to go beast mode. Where are you?
Right here? Hold on.
Come outside. My Linux OS is giving me 3 updates right now. Okay. I need you to play with your brother until 2 o'clock. I do not know what I was not clear about with that.
I have been.
He said you were playing bass guitar.
He's being picky. Okay, that's not... Okay, Owen, that's not the whole story.
Get away from that wire.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the whole story right now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be hearing any of it right now.
That's what I
That's my point.
That's what I said.
So, like, if you were playing bass guitar, do not be doing that while you're supposed to be playing it with your brother. I think that is perfectly sound and reasonable.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get my point across reasonably right now because you're busy and a lot of stuff's going on, and now is not a good time for this.
I don't understand why there's a point to get across. Go play with your brother. We will talk about this later, but
Yeah,
go play. Go do something else. Please?
that is what.
Huh?
Okay. I'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was. Oh, I don't even. What? I'm going to get mad about nothing? And you're fighting with Linux. I mean, really, who's losing here? I mean, who has it worse? Ooh, I would not. I would not. Watch it start to RAIN though. God. Did I leave my little white box in the house? Okay, then I might actually be upset. So I'm gonna have to go inside for a minute. Your hat makes me think of the flapper women during the 1920s. You probably would have fit in very nicely. I don't know about that. But thank you. I did. I left my little white box in the house, y'all. Sad. Whatever. I'm just gonna go with what I got here. I'm just gonna find something in this bag. I'm just gonna make this work. I'm not gonna get up and go anywhere right now. Why poke the bear? Hey. Those women were badass rule breakers. Yes. I'm not saying anything against them. I don't mean it that way. I just kind of thinks from a different angle, I guess. I don't know. It's uh I don't know. They were all, you know, products of their time in the way we all are. I don't know how to put what I'm saying. Like, I feel like a lot of that rebellion was rooted in nihilism, and that makes me sad. And I know that got heavy, and that's not how you meant that, but thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know. And of course, it makes me think of the Fitzgeralds, and I just want to punch him in the face. Like, I could go on and on and on about how much I do not like F. Scott Fitzgerald, and he's been dead for far too long for that to matter. So, and he's really not relevant. Like, that's kind of nice to be able to say. That's how much I dislike him. But I enjoy being able to say that he's not actually politically relevant to like necessarily any cultural analysis of the period, you know, or political analysis anyway. People back then were trying to exorcise themselves from the horrors of the right, yeah, in the places where it happened, you know, a lot of them. So not here, obviously. But anyway, I feel like culturally, though, a lot of that was, obviously they sent people over there, didn't they, from here. So women back in the 1920s were big into gender bending. I feel like they were big into, questioning a lot of the assumptions that we were talking about earlier of where exactly is that line between biology and behavior. They were big at, thumbing their nose at that whole idea that because you're a woman, you have to be XYZ as a person. Which, great. Obviously, those norms need questioned. We're still, it's like, and that is exactly why a lot of the trans stuff is so incredibly frustrating, right? Because it like codifies that stuff that we've been fighting for over 100 years. So, very aggravating. And clearly not the right side of history. Like Grandmom said, if being a woman at the time meant such a narrow range of things, understandable why folks would want to not be women. Right.
Oh my god!
I live in a madhouse. So sorry. Yes, women were very rebellious back then, especially about societal gender norms. Right. Well, okay. And when you see what the societal gender norms had done to their brethren, right? Decimated them. Right? Those guys had gone off to that war unquestioningly at first. Because it was just the macho thing to do. It was just you were going to go earn your stripes and whatever, like literally. And that was not how that went. Medieval legend of Saint Eugenia of Rome is all about that. She even said, I did not want to be biologically female because she felt it was inferior to being born male. See, that is internalized misogyny. That is where I draw the line. Because obviously, nature, God, whatever, like you believe in, like what, made a mistake with an entire half of the human race? Or, that we are somehow actually fragment proof. Like, actual solid evidence that women are in some way generally inferior beings. I know I'm biased in this, obviously, but like, I don't see that. I don't see that. I used to believe that myself, and I've had to come to the conclusion that that's just not the case. Now they're all going to go for a joyride, so it'll be quiet around here for a while. Yes, it was also why a lot of women became nuns to escape the limitations placed on women back in the medieval period. Right, yeah, because they were allowed to learn, like, be scholarly and shit, right? Women are built for tough. On average, we outlive men by 7 years across cultures. We're also the ones with the ability to continue the species. Right, it's a matter of sexism that the longest lived humans who have the power to create life are considered physically inferior. Right. Or any way inferior. Gosh, it almost sounds like someone has an inferiority complex, and it's not us. Like, ability to continue to stay alive is a physical strength. Like, yeah, right. Oh, please, it's getting chilly. I almost want to go and grab a sweater. Please don't rain on me. Please don't rain on me. And if everybody's left, maybe we can go in and grab a sweater and not, kick the hornet's nest. No, yeah. And so the idea that anybody believes that, despite all of the evidence cut to the contrary, just in daily life, when people say, well, men are physically superior, but women are, I'm like, what is your definition of physical superiority? Yeah. Well, and like I read somewhere ages ago that men are faster, but women are better at distance running. And a lot of stuff is like that. I don't know if that's actually true. I wouldn't swear to that. But like, it to me is representative of a lot of things. In that there is a difference. And if one is prone to thinking in hierarchical terms, then one might assume that means one of them has to be better than the other, but that's not how that works. That would be a super macho thing. That would be a really masculine way to approach that sort of thing, right? That's like inherently a masculine way of approaching. Yeah, distance running is the only sport where females at the professional level are as good or as superior to males, to my knowledge. Right. Different strengths, right? And it does not necessarily mean that one of them has to be better than the other. That's an assumption I do not share, right? In Japan, only women are ama divers because women can cope with the stress of deep water diving than men. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's mountains of evidence in daily life all over the world to the contrary of the idea that women are like actually inferior or inherently in any real way. So the fact that anyone believes that is obviously social conditioning. Well, also physical superiority matters increasingly less in the modern age. We're not out here wrestling bears in the woods, laughing my ass off. Right. Well, we can cover that. That's one aspect of it, right? But, physical superiority is actually a place where, the one place where men do kind of fall short, right? Because we can do a trick they can't do. Hear you. Yeah, right. Yes, women excel in endurance. That's why a lot of motel managers won't hire men as maids. They don't last as long, can't do that kind of work, don't have the endurance. Right. So men are good for speed and women are good for endurance. And it's like, y'all don't see how maybe those two things are complementary to one another. This is a survival stratagem level. Come on. I have a feeling that we're supposed to work together. I have this strong suspicion, that is how it is meant to function. Yeah. In a larger general way. I do. And on that level, that either would be inferior to the other, that doesn't make any damn sense. Because that is a handicap, is what that is for the species. That's a handicap. Why would you do that? From a survival standpoint, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm not going to say that you can't find examples of that in nature where one sex is like immobile or something. That does happen. But those are not the arguably most intelligent species that's, spread out all over the planet, are they? So I still have to say that kind of thing would be a handicap. Also note that women are better at swimming the English Channel than men. Well, there you go. That settles it, right? For all and good, for good and all, forever and all time. Let the English Channel be the measure of humanity for all time. Sure, why not? Comes down on my side, right? Oh, I'm sorry for the ads. Thank you for sitting through them. Oh, thank you for sitting through the ads. I'm sorry. I have to make my little, what little I can from this. No. I'm still hoping for. I really am hoping that running that ad is going to the not here the promo on other people's stuff is going to help bring some people in. I'm really hopeful for that. We got 45 minutes. Oh yeah, but no, it's quiet here now. They all left to take a joyride in the car. That was amazing. I am actually kind of glad somebody saw that. Like that's the kind of thing you'd have difficulty explaining to somebody who didn't see it, right? So I'm actually kind of glad y'all saw that because what the fuck? What? I'm just expected to roll with that. I have stuff in that car. Like, oh. I apologize for the ad interruptions. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Seriously, every little bit helps, We got about 45 minutes left, and I'm just trying to stay grounded. You know what I mean? Like, it's an extra challenge today. It's just an extra challenge today. But like I was saying a minute ago, in case you guys missed it, I'm like actually kind of glad you guys saw that in real time, because that's the sort of thing that would be really difficult to like describe for anybody who didn't see it. But like, what? How, what? I think, you know, the bare minimum word I would use is inconsiderate, right? Women are also better suited for long-term space missions. That's why some people say the mission to Mars should be an all-female crew. Well, there's another thing that I don't get, and I've said this before. I'm not necessarily saying everyone in the world should be like me when I say that we'd have no war, because I wager the Americas would have gone and explored by your like there just wouldn't be. I just don't like. Why do you need to go to Mars? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I do not want to go someplace where there is no air. That feels counterproductive to my continued existence. So, I'm good on that. And if they want to send if a bunch of women want to go to Mars, that's great. I just still don't get it. Women are but also better suited, better at spelunking. Nice. Now that sounds like fun. Until you remember you have to get back out. Like, ooh, exploring caves. All right. That's some dangerous shit, right? So, come on. What's on everybody's mind today? Because I do not just want to sit here and complain about that. Because I don't know. The other thing, I guess I've sort of reached the end of my train of thought on, which is like, obviously men and women are supposed to work together. That only makes any sense. That's the only thing that makes any sense. I hear you. There's a beautiful walkway at Belfast called the Coomer Greenway, and I love walking down it. But by the time I get to the end, I can't get back. I see BA to go. Can't be asked to go all the way back. So I just kind of puff. It's nowhere near as dangerous as getting stuck down a cave, though. But yeah, relatable. Oh my goodness, Alyssa Carson is dead serious about going to Mars to set up a colony. She's wanted to do this since she was little. You know what? More power to her. I still don't get it. I don't need to. I hope they succeed. That sounds, I mean, it's amazing, but I don't want to go. You know, that's all. Oh my gosh, but speaking of like wishing you had a ride back from somewhere, you guys, it's Monday. Right. And this is why we got non-binary TikTok this week instead of something serious, because instead of, you know, trolling fucking YouTube looking for interesting videos to respond to, I spent Monday in the woods with my kids, and like we went hiking, and we started like, it's an isthmus, right, that goes down towards this lake, but it's so much longer than we thought it was, right? So by the time we finally got back down to the lake, the walk back up was ungodly. And yeah, there's no ride back through that. You know, it's a big state park. There's no ride back through the woods from the lake at the bottom of the mountains. So like, you have to just. Everybody slept real good that night, though. I don't think I know who Alyssa Carson is. How old is she? So, performativity, blah, 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 blah. Where is the line? I don't know, you know? I wish I had time to really research that. How would anyone go about researching that? The movie Descent 2, 2009, shows why men don't belong in caving rescue missions. Oh. The sheriff was a huge liability for the women in her late 20s, I think. Oh, nice. I mean, that's fiction, though. Like, why was he a liability? Just because he was big? Like, that's plausible, I guess, in caving, right? Spelunking is a really fun word. I had that exact same thought. Like, it's a movie. Right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, it's not a relevant example, but, you know, why though? If it was just because he was big, then men, you know, legit are often bigger than women in real life. So, okay. Okay, I need to head off to get some salmon oil for our kitty cat. Okay. Have a good day, Scott. Nice seeing you, man. It always does lend something special to the conversation, right? Like, uh, uh, like no joke. But so yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking next. Is yes, he was very big and not agile and flexible, which is critical for caving. Right. So that makes that also like, you know, a real world issue. Yeah. But so how would that would be my next question is like how would one even go about, you know, researching that? I mean, I feel like it almost is a realm for philosophy, the whole behavior versus biology thing. At least for now, because I'm not sure what on earth sort of experiment, ethical experiment, you know, could you possibly? You'd be stuck doing field research, interviewing people like me and you and the butch lesbians with many male friends and stuff like that, right? Like basically forever in order to get enough data to actually be useful for much. Like the whole men living less. Wait. One thing I'm very interested in the future is longitudinal studies comparing different kinds of trans folks with different kinds of non-trans folks in regards to health and longevity. Yeah. Males do produce more cortisol on average, but that can also be affected by environment, situations, etc. Right. Oh. And like there are places in the world where, you know, the average lifespan for each of them is 90 something, but you know, for him it's 92 and for her it's 93. So even when you shrink that, it's still there. And to me, that's just, you know, flotsam in this giant sea of evidence that sex matters, you know? So if trans women, even in comparably chill environments, still have higher cortisol levels, that would suggest that the high cortisol is just a male biology thing. If said trans women have lower cortisol, that suggests it's specifically the hormones affecting cortisol levels. Isn't cortisol a hormone? You mean the sex hormones? I mean, hormones are biological, but like, I guess you could say they're like the gray area. I don't know. You'd probably be more of an expert in that than I am. Yeah, the sex hormones. Right. So, like, perhaps having higher testosterone raises your cortisol accordingly. Or maybe just being a dude means you're going to have higher cortisol anyway, regardless of what your testosterone level is. I feel like you could study that just in a population of men, right? Like, yeah, like we for sure experience some changes on hormones. I don't think it's the same as experiencing what the other sex is like. There's a lot of overlap for sure. Right. And, so if you put female hormones in a male body, that's going to do certain things, but it's also going to not do certain things, like, I mean, the most obvious is it's not going to actually change your reproductive organs. Like, I am inclined to presume that there is some sort of similar neurological thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't change your skeleton. It doesn't change, you know what I mean? Like, not to say it's superficial, but it doesn't get all the way down. Like, when I hear trans men describe about starting testosterone, a lot of it sounds similar to my own adolescence, but with some crucial distinctions, like I didn't have a vagina that got dry. Right. I need to put on some bug spray. Excuse me. I swear, they will find whatever spot I miss. Many of them say they physically can't cry after starting testosterone, which is fascinating. It shows that women crying more isn't just a socialization thing. Right. I have definitely heard that too, and I think that that's, but like some women are criers, right, and others are not. So, in that way, shit might be a spectrum, right? That's one of the most frustrating things about all of this is there are various grains of truth woven into the garbage. Which again, so it's very hard to just sit here and be a conservative and be like, yeah, no, we need to get rid of all this crap. No. It is more nuanced than that. It is. It truly is. Another thing that won't happen if you put female hormones in a male body is it won't give you life experience of having been born a girl and grown up as girls. Right. There are some things that are just baked in, right, that you cannot acquire if you missed that spot, if you missed that stop, right? Correct, which is why I avoid claiming to have a woman's experience or whatever. I don't want to downplay the importance of male-female socialization. Right, or just, well, that's what I guess I'm trying to say, is that it does go beyond that. It does. And we don't really know what the fuck that looks like. Where is the foundation that this weird ramshackle house is built upon, huh? We have no idea. We don't know. We don't really know. But, the bright side to that is it gives us some really, really interesting stuff to talk about, doesn't it? Oh, I think we might have. I hope we didn't upset you, Micah. I am completely on your side there, obviously. Because I do. I think it goes deeper than that. I think that there's something about being male or female that is just baked in. Like I say, you cannot. I said it better a minute ago. Yeah, I find identifying where the rubber hits the road, biologically speaking, is fascinating. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And I think that in that way, it might be a spectrum, right? Like each woman has her own hormonal profile, for example, that causes her to have, a certain level of emotional experience for, like I say, some women tend to cry a lot more, but there are also some women who are criers. And I say that, like, because I kind of am one. as I got the chance to demonstrate earlier. Hooray. You know, surprised me with something, and there's a good chance that I'm going to be, you know, in the corner trying to dry my face. And I get that from my grandma. So that's just a known trait in my family. So, like, what is that? I've always, and like you say, I heard about the trans men who like can't cry, and it's like, wow, wow, you know, it is fascinating, and I wish it weren't so politically charged. I guess is what I'm saying, because you know it is. There's like the other side, who are you're either all in, or you know people think we need to get rid of this shit and literally go back to like the 19th century, and I just at the very least, and I just think that is, to put it mildly, rash, isn't it? Those are both extreme positions, right? And I hate to be like, oh, I'm in the middle, but like, I just can't adopt either of them personally, you know? I'm not, I just, no. I don't want to get so broad. I think that that's dangerous, I guess. You have to actually look at everything on a case by case, minute by minute, day by day basis. Who'd have thought? I think you can definitely make some guesses where the rubber hits the road, but they're so inextricably intertwined. Right. And I just think I think it might be, like I say, kind of different for everybody in that way, and the sun is going to get us if I don't move this. Yeah, you see this a lot with the pill stuff. Some feminists raise concerns about the pill for women's health. Conservatives try to use it as a pretext to bring back slut shaming. Right. It's like that was the point of my "Where's My Sandwich" video, is that every time we question any of these, you know, liberal pillars, if you will, somebody decides that's the moment to speak up and tell us to get back in the kitchen then. It just kills the conversation pretty quickly. It's very annoying. Like, I have no idea what personality I would have if I didn't live in this body that people react to the way they do. Yeah. Right? Whew, boy, you just said a lot there, didn't you? Yeah. Oh. And that's the thing, is we can never really know that. You know? One just has to make peace with oneself in that way, in a lot of ways, right? And I don't know, maybe we collectively could do better at understanding that everybody has that. Everybody wishes they had were taller or something. I'm not going to start singing that song, but like, everyone wishes they had different. No one is satisfied. No one thinks their physical existence is perfect and without flaw. No one feels that way about themselves. No one is that way, so that's fair, right? But like, unrealistic standards, I guess, is basically what I'm saying. Because now the neighbor boy, that's the kid who lives across the street, riding his moped back and forth, which may go on for some time. So apologies in advance. I cannot do anything about that at all. I think I cried a lot of my eyeshadow off, or my eyelashes off tonight. And you know, I guess a lot of this for me would be cultural emphasis, right? Like, we could totally emphasize. You can barely hear the moped. Sweet. It's annoying as all hell to me, but yeah, we're working through it. Cultural emphasis, where you know we could emphasize these messages. Goodness knows, young children watch enough media, right? And I don't know. I feel like somewhere out there, somebody didn't get that message. Like the stereotypical fairy tale moral that, the magic was inside you all along. I feel like culturally we used to know some of this stuff. I don't know. So it makes me wonder if this kind of thing hasn't happened before, right? Or maybe there was some sort of drastic, cultural revolution that brought out a lot of really good stuff, but was also really terrible in a lot of ways. So then it got kind of pushed back on, and all that shit got thrown away and forgotten about. Does anybody think maybe that's happened before? Like 100%, like it's biological reality that only women give birth. It's cultural emphasis, which turns that into Abigail Shapiro saying all women should become mothers. Right, exactly. Or into something more sensible. Right. Only women can become mothers. And maybe we should talk about that. Maybe feminism. The philosophical school concerned specifically with female experience should be in charge of talking about that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, and any excuse to be misogynistic will do for right. But why are they the loudest people in the conversation? And it's like what I said last week in my video about conservative politicians using detransitioners as political footballs. That pisses me off too. Okay, I think that detransitioners and everyone criticizing this stuff should be given all kinds of platforms, not just conservative ones who think that they can score points off of them. That's sickening to me too, because they're the loudest because most people agree with them. We live in a patriarchy. Right. God damn it. It's like we're just all talking about one big thing. So frustrating. So that's what I'm saying with like literature, right? Like fiction, right? Like it kind of feels like I'm attempting a backdoor assault is what I'm doing. Right? They go ahead and be the loudest people in the room. You go ahead. With shouting and your slinging of arrows and whatever. You go ahead with that. Right? It's not the only thing that's going on, is it? Yeah, it really saddens me when someone like Shapeshifter will go and talk to homophobic Christians who think he's still a degenerate for loving another man because they'll at least listen to him. Yeah, no. My husband said he had a dream the other day that Breitbart came and offered me a bunch of money to write articles for them, and we were considering it. And I said, no, we weren't. No. What's the answer to that would have to be no. I don't care how much money they've got. Because that would be, social suicide. What the fuck? Not to mention, if you look at the reality of the world and realize they have to be lying about believing that, things get simpler. Yeah, they do. It's amazing when you believe people when they say they're in a post-feminist society. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, denial is a hell of a drug, isn't it? I guess that's what I have to say to that. And like I was saying this last week, and again, you haven't been around for a while, so I've been saying this a lot lately. That one of the reasons, possibly the big reason, that a lot of feminists, women's groups, I think have trouble is that we're all the problem, and like most of us don't want to look at that, right? Like we all have these bad ideas baked so far deep down in our psyches, right? We all have this internalized misogyny that we need to personally work through, and it's like hard and scary and shit like that. So. Whoa. You guys are going as fast as fast. Longtime friend of mine says he's an anti-feminist now, and it's so exhausting debating these issues with him. I also went through a brief silly woman phase where I forgot how awful Christian books can be because on this one issue they seem less nuts than the crowd. Yeah, right. You think people have kind of been pretending to go along with feminism without actually agreeing. Then I remembered, thanks abortion issue and war on daycare. Oh my God. They always show themselves, don't they? Yes. I do think it's common to pretend to agree with feminism. I think it's common to agree with stuff without actually understanding it. Sadly. I think that's actually fairly common. For straight men in particular, I can see why. Like, men are a lot more socially conservative than women, and lots of women won't date an anti-feminist. Yeah. Like, the crosstalk that goes on there. Ooh, modern dating is hell, and I would not. I would not. Like, marriage is so much better. I'm not saying that, but I would not. There's a whole daycare is abusive and children need their mother and nobody else discussion going on in conservative circles, and it's leaking out. What? Whoa. See, I'll tell you why that's leaking out. I don't disagree with that. Okay. Personally, I don't think it's a great idea to have a baby and then not be there for the first few months at least of the child. I've done it twice. Okay. And if you're a high powered career woman, great. Why did you have a baby? I don't. Like, the idea of having someone else watch your own kids or even educating them is a problematic thing. Okay, no. No. Like, school is daycare where they program them for the state mess. Okay, no. See, I no. I got off that train at the first stop there. Like, no. Oh yeah, the war on education. It's mega concerning. Yeah. It definitely is. It definitely is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. And that's actually an angle on it I don't think I'd considered. So thank you. And I cannot get on board with the idea of having someone else watch your kids as being like abusive or something. No. No. What happened to it takes a village to raise a child? What the fuck? You think the whole village is watching them at the same time? Having worked as a nanny, I saw how the kid's career as parents did still manage to find time to be there for him, though maybe they're exceptions. Like, again, I'm not saying that it is not possible. I'm saying that it should not be expected. Like, if you want to have a career, great. If you want to focus on whatever the fuck you want to focus your life on, making your art, whatever the fuck it is. If you have a strong maternal instinct as well, then you definitely need to have a strong support system set up before you do that, I guess. And you got to make sure that maternal pull is really, what that is, and not you just deciding that it's time in your life to go ahead and have kids now or something. I've seen that. It's scary. Alternatively, if you want to have kids, yeah, it's not a life sentence, but it's very time consuming. For a while, you're going to be mom. For most of the time. For a while. And that's not... The end goal of the idea a kid can't still be healthy if a mother splits daycare duties with others is that women are very much chained to the home. Yeah, that's not cool. They want women barefoot and pregnant again. Right. Oh. Somebody gave me a fantastic opportunity on one of my comments last week or the week before, because they came in being like, anybody on the left with a conscience needs the right to win on this issue. And I was like, on the trans issue. And I said that when reality wins on this, that will not be a win for the people who want us barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. That is not what that will be. And I am really, really doing my best to gather my forces and my words and to really push back against that idea. Reality is not a right-wing idea. They can't have that. That pisses me the fuck off. All women, not just the ones who want to do that. Right. Exactly. There's a big difference between never being around your kids and offloading it all versus having them. Right. Yes. 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 Correct. Right. And if that is the balance that you're, the proof is in the pudding. It can be done. Okay. And on the other, I really don't know that there are a whole lot of super driven career women who are just kind of out babies and running off. I really don't know that happens a whole lot. I think what it really is they just simply do not have the good support system set up in the first place. And they are, it's you have to do it or you're not going to get to sort of thing. That's real. And I think it's very judgmental to frame it the other way. I don't think that's what that is. I think it's a system where you have to get back to work or you're going to lose your position, okay? Because, that probably macho, probably masculine competitive thing, right? Where if you take a few years off to raise the kid you created, ooh, that's like a big deal. It's depressing how often I've had to tell my fellow trans people we shouldn't try to argue against solid science because said science cuts against what we've decided are trans traits. Yeah. Fighting against reality is a losing battle. I have a friend who just quit her job and is planning on homeschooling, and she had no interest in this until she got into online Christian mommy communities who trend conservative. Yeah, and then that's how you burn out, right? And end up not having any energy to do anything else. Boo! Like, it just makes conservatives look like their bullshit is all backed up by science. If you give them the chances, great, thank you, right? You don't want to let them be in charge of this. You don't want to that's what I was saying. That's what I said in my video. I do not think the conservative Christians should be in charge of pushback on this. We should not let that happen. That's not a good idea. Because then when reality wins, they get to take credit for that. Boo. Bad. No. We don't want that. Yeah, I'm a bit worried. This is one of those homegirls getting sucked into a cult thing. Yeah. That is worrying. Tommy Lahren just got out of a really bad marriage, as she stated, because of communities like those. I think it was Lauren Southern who escaped her crappy marriage. Okay. Sorry. Lauren Southern. Yeah, I saw a little bit about that. That just looks like something that's going to make me ill. Like how she went to her trad friends for advice and they told her to just keep putting up with her husband treating her like shit. Right. You want to talk about having a good support system set up. He's got it, right? Actually horrifying 1950 shit. Yeah. So I guess maybe those are what I'm talking about. You throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, we do not need to, like, the overreach does not need to be overcorrected for. You know what I'm saying? Anyone is not anything, but we don't have to go back to cave times either. What the fuck? Because that is the advice. The structure where your husband is the master and you're his genie slave girl is one where the right answer is to put up with it. Yeah. The fallacy is that there's a healthy way to have a relationship where one is the master and the other is right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We have to be actually complementary in an equal way, or it makes no sense. The entire endeavor is a waste of time. If men and women are not, equal beings, the entire endeavor is a waste of time. So that simply cannot be true. It just can't. Yep. If you've decided your husband is the head of the wife and she doesn't need to make decisions for herself, she probably should just put up and deal with it. Yeah. Right. That's the logic there. And it's not logic. And it doesn't work. That's, an example of just persistently and stubbornly applying a framework to reality that does not fit. You're going to have a bad time. Lauren's friends weren't giving her bad advice. They were just reminding her how the things she signed up for and believes in functions. Right, yeah. I wouldn't even meaningfully call those things marriages. I'd call it indentured servitude. Yeah, that's why the article is so crushing, because Southern believed it herself at first. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. One hopes, right? One hopes that you're not cynically going into something like that. That's insane. That would be bonkers. They're back. Hooray. Hooray, hooray, hooray. We got 8 minutes. So I have a feeling I'm gonna get off of here in a minute. Like, watch they took that boy on a joyride without his car seat.
How they can do it when Sarah gets off the live stream? I don't know.
Which one? How things can go very badly for women with those kinds of values. It's all dependent on whether the husband decides. Yeah, right? It's terrifying. Hey, baby.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Just getting ready to wrap it up. It's almost 2. And I promised the kids I'd take them to the park.
Okay.
What is it, David?
No.
Jimmy's up front.
I'm already here. I'll just go this way.
Okay. Close that gate properly.
Complaining about abuse with biblical marriages is like complaining ladies in BDSM relationships get whips and chains. Of course they do. That's the point.
Hey, Jimmy, your brother wants you.
I guess that would be why Lauren Southern left that marriage, right? It ended up not working out for her. Yeah, it's going nice, right? And I finally got the roof propped up for a minute. Anyway, we'll see how well that stays. No, St. Paul didn't mean your husband owns you as a slave. He literally did. Right? I'm going to hate when the biblical marriage types try to euphemize it. Yeah. Yeah. The Bible has plenty to say about what a model slave owner behaves like and compares that explicitly to a good husband. Nice. Nice. Right. Nice. We've had quite a comments thing going on. Like this is a great thread between these two. You know, very, very different perspectives going on. I love it. I love it. I love it. Women who try to say this whole thing isn't misogynistic, that's a lie. Feminists start deluding. Yeah, lie feminists tell are deluding themselves. Yeah. Slavery is freedom. Yeah, right. Conservatism is rebellion. Yeah, I've literally heard people say that.
I can.
I'm sorry, can I talk to you when I'm done?
I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
Am I making you nervous?
It's just weird having an audience here.
Oh, I'm
while
sorry.
I talk to the camera.
Enough for you.
I can't actually see them. I'll
just take my analog south and go to the house and something with her.
Yeah, you do that. I'll be in there in a few minutes.
All right.
If you're signing up to be someone's servant in a biblical sense, you are in fact signing up for emotional abuse and coercive control, at least physical if you rebel. That's the agreement. It does say that in the book, I guess. Yeah. Like, to be as charitable as possible, you're not technically signing up for abuse, but you are signing up to have little recourse if your husband decides to abuse or exploit you. Yeah. I think that's closer. Women who are like, I believe in the Bible, but what want a biblical marriage, but not insert what the Bible says is a marriage, are trying to make that nonsense work with modern values, which doesn't. Yeah. Which brings us back, I think, to what we were saying earlier about modern myths and how badly we need them. Because what it says in there does not work for us, does it? When you put it into practice, it does. It's like putting square peg round hole, So if he treats her badly and she suddenly has to support herself, she has no skills or experience to make a decent life for herself. Yeah, right. There was a Muslim girl in my high school who didn't bother. Because she intended for her future husband to take care of her. Right. Yeah. And it's like they objectify themselves, right? They let themselves down. You could have got the education. And if that's not a destructive idea in practice, I don't know what is. A modern definition of domestic violence encompasses the kind of control that even a kind master would impose. Oh, fine. I don't suppose the people who are going to be, living that sort of lifestyle are particularly interested in that kind of thing. True. But a lot of the trad wife types probably do want to choose what that control would be anyway. Some genuinely do love the housewife role, though it's not quite the same as trad wife. Right. Okay. And like, when your kids are little, that makes a lot of sense to live that way. But the longest and this is the thing that people, don't understand, which I feel like if, women were more responsible for cultural philosophy, this would be a more well understood concept that like your mom term, your active term as mom is like maximum 25 years. Maximum 25 years. From the time your first baby is born, okay? Unless you have some crazy late life surprise, which, good luck. But it just doesn't last forever. It just doesn't. That period of your life is a period of your life. Like any other kind of career, I guess, where it has a beginning and a middle and an end. Okay? Eventually, you have changed your last diaper. Eventually, you have seen your last graduate fucking high school. Okay? Like, it ends. And you have to move on from that. It's not the same thing at all to be a housewife versus to be a house servant whose input doesn't factor into the running of the house. Right. Or the managing of your personal life. Right. Which, like, that ain't how that works. He outsources that shit to you anyway. I've never met a man who could keep a calendar for an entire family like that. Does he exist? I'm not even being facetious. I am not even being facetious. In every straight coupling I've ever met, she keeps track of appointments and not him. Like I swear to God. Especially in the younger years when there's kids and doctor's appointments and soccer games and whatever. Like, that's her thing. True. Like Steven Crowder's wife, Hillary, as an example. He seemed to have basically just been her boss, been bossing her around even with the housework stuff. Like, men are just not good at that. At managing that kind of stuff. That's why they outsource it to us. There, I said it. Oh my God. Maybe the conservatives' approach to this would just be that women should keep getting pregnant until menopause law. No. In which case, you're not going to be personally caring for all those children. I guess that would be the difference between being a mom and being a baby factory. That's disgusting. At which point, they could probably transition into being grandmothers, right? She'd have to sit in the corner in her rocking chair and be revered because she wouldn't be able to walk no more. A sufficiently controlling man won't keep a calendar, but he will randomly inject his negative opinions on what you're doing. Right. To switch things around at the last minute. Right. To ruin them or their control. Right. And I'm just saying that they can't actually control that kind of thing. Like they don't know how. That sounds sexist, but like they'll do stuff like, see, you planned a birthday party and decide that day they feel like something else to make you can't. Yeah, just causing problems to make the wife feel inadequate. Right. But that's not actually him running and managing the calendar for the family, is it? Even when she's doing everything that was asked of her. Yeah. I think Lawrence Southern reported that he said, right. That's malignant narcissism. That's not running a household. Ooh, it's 2:02. That's him still exerting that he's the one who's in charge of what. Right. In the most petty, pathetic, and childish way possible. No, we do what I say. Goddamn. But I find that if your argument translates easily into the words of a toddler, you might not have the moral high ground there. And I'm gonna have to leave it there. Like, I have been trying so hard to come down with something for like 2 weeks, and you can probably hear that my throat is kind of not wanting to cooperate with me. It's a thing they do, but also it's a thing that happens in any unhealthy power dynamic. Bad bosses do that at work. Yeah, right. Well, because it's a power thing, not a sexual thing. Ugh. And I could go over power dynamics all day, but yeah, no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to call it a day, y'all. I have some conversations to go and have with some people, so wish me luck with that. Probably won't be able to make next week's. Yeah, because you're getting your brain scanned. Oh my god. Mr. Luce, me and Mom did it. Catch me. Yeah, good luck. I hope you don't have epilepsy. That's what we want, right? Good to see you again. Yeah, it's good to see you too. I've seen you around a little bit. And yeah, we were always here on Wednesday, so see you next week, I guess. Have a good one, guys.